Welcome to War of the Weirds, a war between friends where the stranger to discovery, the greater chance of victory. Last time, Mystic celebrated a great victory, took the spoils of war, and forced Broomy to watch Double Team, a bewildering motion picture co-starring basketballer Dennis Rodman and roundhouse kicker Jean-Claude Van Damme. Broomy's down but not out, for the war rate is on with this week's battle. Urine therapy versus Blue is new.
Hello and welcome to War of the Weirds. I'm Broomy.
And I'm Mystic.
And we're here to tell one another bizarre tales from this bizarre reality of ours.
I always think that I'm gonna change the intro, like my introduction. I always want to say something different, but I never think about it until you're saying I'm Broomy. And then,
what were you going to be like?
Oh,
I'm saucy.
No,
Like what?
I was just thinking about like the only times that the intro has been different than that have been like failures when I just like accidentally messed up or
the one time
spoken
that
too early.
You were the beginning talker.
Right. Yeah. So that still count that as a failure. So.
Look, I just referred to you as a beginning talker. That's a failure in itself. We're all failures.
I'm a beginning talker. I am going to be a beginning talker in this episode because it's my turn to share first.
It's for true. Do you have it on the ready prepared?
I do. Do we have any housekeeping things? Why do people say that? Why is that?
I don't know. I personally don't have housekeepers, so I can't relate to that.
Yeah.
I guess housekeeping is like a business thing, right?
Right.
Like
it's like some internal things before.
Yeah.
Because you're mostly focused on external. If business does not have any, if it's all self-contained, it's not a very effective business. Except for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That was self-contained.
Just like this podcast, it's not a very effective business.
Right, yeah. Yeah. This is my sole form of income, so...
Yeah. So we should have housekeeping. We don't.
Yeah, we don't. But any announcements?
There's going to be a shift in the War of the Weirds very soon that I think will be pretty dang fun. Just look forward to it. Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about it, but I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to do.
Yeah.
Like once it gets going. Yeah. Fun stuff ahead. We're always looking for ways to improve it and have fun and be entertaining. So
yeah, if you think you have an idea for how to improve it, you could send it on over to waroftheweirds@gmail.com if you would like to. But you don't have to because it's fucking perfect already, and we're going to make it more perfect.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah. You're welcome to stroke our egos, though, and tell us it's perfect, and you can't think of any way to improve it.
Yeah.
Well, my dog has had food in her bowl all day, and she has just decided to go get mouthfuls of it and walk over to me and crunch it.
Yeah,
and slop her water beside me. So that's fun. That's what's going on in the background. Yeah. All right. Well, also I told Broomy this already. My neighbor has been cutting his grass since 9 a.m. It's currently 6:30 p.m. So he's still working on that. And if it gets loud and annoying in the background, I'm sorry, but this is life, you know? There's things happening.
Yeah, this is real life. This podcast is the realest life to live ever. If you're a real one
living
if
this
you're
podcast?
listening to this podcast.
Yeah. All right. Well, today I want to take a little bit of a different approach to my story.
I too will be doing such a thing later.
Okay. It's not really a story.
Mm-hmm.
In all my research and reporting on this show, I typically find subjects that are biographical. Usually it's an unusual person or something that like someone that did something strange. Everything from dictators that want to make milk a legacy to doctors preserving the corpses of their patients to sleep with. So, it's things like that. But today's topic is a little different. And so the style of presentation will be a little bit different. I feel like it's going to be like less narrative and more conversational. But it's fun to me. I want to tell you all about an exciting business opportunity. No, I did think about like pitching this as like a pyramid scheme.
I have a timeshare.
I want to talk to you about about medicine, a particular medicine that is a purported cure for almost every ailment, and that we are blind to in our own world. This medicine has been used for everything from whitening teeth in ancient Rome to treating cancer in today's world. You want to guess what it is?
Semen of some kind? I don't know. I don't know.
Very close. Very, very close. Urophagia.
Urophagia. Don't say that shit to me. Yeah. I deserve to be treated better than this.
Uromorphagia. So if you don't know what that is, it is drinking urine. So you were real close. You're real close because it comes from the same source.
Sure.
Well, the same spout. It's not the same source. I mean, whatever. I'm
pretty sure pee and cum are the same thing. So anyway,
they're the exact same thing. That's why you're not supposed to pee in pools, because you might get everybody pregnant.
Yeah, that's why. I'm going to stop myself. I would like to hear
this. I would like to hear this post episode.
Okay.
I'll tweet what he says. So I just peeked on my microphone, by the way, when you said like I'm going to stop, because I just
that's okay.
I said I peeked on my microphone, not that I peed on my microphone. I think you're hearing. This is influencing I'm priming your cognition.
Yes.
So throughout most of history, people have done dumb stuff, and like I recall reading people are doing dumb stuff in today's world too. Just walk outside, look around. I recall reading somewhere one time that crocodile dung was used as the first recorded contraceptive, or an attempt at contraceptive.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't fault people for. I mean, I can fault people for that, but I can't fault people for doing dumb stuff because I admire it. It's ingenuity, it's resourcefulness, and it's the only way progress is ever made. Like just doing something different, breaking from tradition.
Eating crocodile dung is the only way anything gets done in this world.
Exactly. You're assuming that it was eaten. I was wondering if they like rubbed it on like a condom / lubricant, like spermicide. I don't know. I don't even know what's better in this situation.
Wait, are you saying they rubbed it on a condom?
I don't know. I did not look into it more than that.
This episode is way grosser than it needs to be. It's already about drinking pee. So you don't have to rub crocodile shit on a condom and fuck somebody? What is it? This thing?
I don't know how it was used in order to be an effective or ineffective contraceptive. You were thinking like, the pill, like the once a day thing. Sure. I was thinking maybe it's like it's a
you shove it up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe it's like an implant. What are those things called? Are they called implants?
There's several different types.
Yeah. Anyways, drinking urine for health benefits, it's an ancient practice, and we'll discuss that a little bit. But I want to emphasize that it's still going on and practiced in the Western world. Yeah. So
I've seen, just at one point, like a couple of years ago, I saw somebody on YouTube like talking into the camera with another dude about just the benefits.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
The original media that I wanted you to consume there was a playlist that someone had put together. It was like 11 or 12 videos about urine therapy. And it was like some of the videos were like some dumb kid, and like I think it was taken down because I'm pretty sure he was a minor, and like I don't. It's just kind of it's like, all right, let's not even that's a gray area, and let's just keep it. Let's not even touch it. So because like if it's being used as a medicine, that's one thing, but then again, it's like a minor drinking urine, so on camera, and there's like
not awesome, not great.
not awesome, and like YouTube's probably like, we don't want to. It wasn't necessarily that video, but there was a playlist of videos like that, and that's what I couldn't find. Like it was like either dismantled or taken down, but that was originally what I was going to have you watch.
Oh shucks! Oh damn!
I know that you missed out on that.
I had to watch a fun action movie instead of that.
I'll try to find it. We could watch it sometime.
Yeah, just for fun.
Just us. Just hanging out,
Yeah.
So a little backstory on urine therapy. The origins are unclear, but it's been present across like most cultures. There are reports, as I said, of ancient Romans using it to whiten teeth, which I don't quite get. Because I don't know what their understanding, like what their level of chemistry was, like how much knowledge they have about like reactions and stuff. Like, do they think something chemically in the pee was happening, or do they think it was just like?
I mean, I don't know the chemical, like there's something weird going on with pee, right? It's not
right. It's
just the same.
It's mostly water and then like some ammonia and salts and basically waste of like the color. It comes from like the broken down hemoglobin or whatever, which is like your blood cells breaking down stuff, and so it's like that's why it has like a slight color. It's like the waste of those of your cells breaking
also,
down. So, I mean, it's also waste of things that you're taking in, but
I think it might be a thing where it's like, well, it's unpleasant to do. It's more unpleasant than just water. And it's a natural liquid. Maybe it's better. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's their thought.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. And I wish I did know, because like if they didn't have any thoughts about chemical properties, like I just don't know like what ancient Rome, like what they, yeah. Because they're like, oh, I got cut. Let's rub some dirt in it. That'll help. So, but like we all know that drinking coffee and smoking stains your teeth. So, like, no. I have no idea, like, what could have led someone to believe that, like, soaking your teeth in something yellow would then make them white. That's why, like, I guess they had to think it was some kind of chemical thing going on. I don't know.
I mean,
maybe
they
didn't know anything about teeth. They're just like...
Well, sure, that is definitely true, but at that point, their teeth might have been fucking brown.
True. They like, lighten it up a little bit. Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yellow is whiter than brown, so... Yeah. That's very true.
If that's the one thing you can take away from this episode, go ahead.
Don't say I never taught you nothing.
Yeah.
This is an educational show.
Very.
But it's been used to treat acne and skin conditions. We've all heard like the folk remedy of peeing on a jellyfish sting. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's helpful. Maybe it was invented by a guy with like a urine fetish that just wanted to pee on his friends. Or maybe it was like the world's greatest prankster who was just like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I convinced Joe that me peeing on him would help his injury? And the other guy's like, yeah, bro, go do it. So I don't know. But
yeah, I guess I've never personally experienced it, but it's been in so many like shows and movies that I'm like, it's got to be based on something legitimate. Yeah, I don't know, maybe not, but
and there's honestly, even in today's like scientific community, there's kind of some debate about whether it's effective or not. Some people are talking about like there's something called like, was it like nematocytes or nematocyst or something, which is like what's stinging you, and then like that can apparently irritate those and make it hurt worse. But like I guess there's also different types of jellyfish, and I don't know. There's whatever. And that's just gonna be something that's contested because it's like a folk, like a then passed down so long as a remedy. I did come across a couple of other uses that are the website called them common, like the peeing on the jellyfish sting. I was not familiar with them, but apparently people also pee on wasp stings and bee stings and sunburns and cuts.
Oh,
and
God.
blood vessel bursts.
I don't even know what that looks like.
I don't know if that's if maybe that's like a blood blister or like burst blood vessels under like a bruise, like under the surface or something.
Yeah, or they call it a bruise so people could understand what they're talking about.
I cannot imagine that someone's like bleeding out. Like, hold on, I'll pee on it. It'll help.
Yeah.
I kind of. This is gonna sound weird. I kind of like to imagine that a little bit because it's so hard to pee not in a toilet and in private.
Sure.
Just like psychologically. So like under pressure, like someone's like got shot and they're like bleeding out, like to be able to like so relaxed and in such control of your body that you can like, hold on, all right, steady stream, here it comes. Like that's funny to me.
Yeah. The idea though, I don't know. What came to me when you said that was when you said under pressure, just being in that situation and you're very stressed out and pressure. Push it down on me! Push it down on me! Oh, that
No man asked for this. Well, maybe some men do.
Sure, plenty.
Plenty. I also think what it's like to be the person in that situation, because you're like distracted with your own injury, and like all of a sudden you feel something. You look up, you're like, "Are you peeing on me right now?" Like, just.
I'm dying, and you're my friend. What's going on here?
What kind of dominance move is this?
Yeah.
That's funny. Real quick side story. Somebody told me about this one time, and I have done this every time I go to the beach since. Mm-hmm. Just like go in the water and get like soaking wet, like get submerged, and then walk out and stand like at the edge of the shore because you're just dripping wet anyways, and to pee. Like it's a very liberating feeling. It's because it takes so much self-control and like calmness. Like nobody can tell anyways, but you still like your brain is like, but I'm in public.
Oh,
and
you're saying
also just
like,
to pee yourself.
Not
not
taking
in the
out
ocean.
your penis.
Oh no.
That's what I was picturing when you said that. No. Like just going to the edge of the water where you're barely getting any water on your feet and just taking your dick out in the middle of the beach.
No. Peeing your pants or your bathing suit or whatever you swim in.
Yeah.
Unless you swim nude, in which case that's literally what he just described. Yeah, and I do that. I do that every year when I go to the beach. It's fun to do that, especially like if you're talking to somebody and they don't know and you know. It's like that's probably like a sociopath thing. Like,
sure, absolutely. It's like a power move where you're like, I know that I'm more powerful than you. I can do many things at once. Hold a conversation and relieve myself of this waste.
Yeah, try it. Try to pee your pants sometime. Your brain won't let you.
Yeah, I might. Unless you win 2 more times and that's the experience that you decide for me. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do it anytime soon.
All right, well, just don't close your mind to it. Yeah. Okay, another article that I read included some good euphemisms for it. So taking a golden shower, which that is not the same thing as drinking urine. That's peeing on someone. And that's typically like a sexual connotation is what I've heard. Yeah. Golden showers.
I think so.
Or like water, what's it called? Water sports? I think that's...
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Drinking from your own spigot is one. Sipping a warm cup of herbal pee. That's pretty funny.
I mean, come on. Nobody says that.
I've heard that vitamins are sort of like controversially debated because people agree that like, yeah, you need vitamins in your diet. But I think one thing that people disagree on, or something I know people disagree on, is like if supplements are actually beneficial, because a lot of like if people take like tons of supplements and tons of vitamins, unless they have like a gross deficiency of something, it just becomes waste because your body can't absorb more than so much. So like once your body is like at capacity of it, you just pee it out. And so like if you're getting most of your stuff from nutritional sources, assuming that you don't like you have like a averagely healthier balanced diet, then you're getting pretty much everything you need. And also some vitamins are like require like a fat bonding thing to break down and be absorbed. So if you don't take them with certain foods, then your body doesn't absorb them. So you're just peeing them out anyways. I recall one of my biology professors talking about how some biologists in Europe say that Americans have the most expensive pee because all the supplements and powders and whatnot that we do just turn into waste once we've reached capacity. So, and that happens like just if you eat normally. Yeah. Coincidentally, same professor talked about how diabetes is detectable by tasting urine. And I found out, like, in my research for this, like, that, like, people were like, yeah, doctors used to do this all the time as, like, a diagnostic tool because it's sweet.
It's sweet if you're diabetic. It's fucking delicious. They'll gamble on anyone. They just want a sweet drink.
Right. They're like, yeah, are you diabetic? And they're like, no. But like, let me just see.
I'm the doctor here. Give me your pee.
Yeah. And that's why doctors ask for urine samples, is so they can wash down their lunch before they come and see you in the little room.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, this biology professor actually peed in a cup and sipped it in class and offered it to any student that wanted to taste it.
Okay, that's bad.
I mean, he didn't he didn't pee in front of us.
That's just not a good thing to do.
He didn't pee in front of us, but he like left the room and came back with it. And of course, like all the students were like, "It's apple juice, whatever." And like he passed it around for people to smell, and it did not smell like apple juice. And he was like, "You can taste it, like whatever." So I did not do that.
By the way, all the vitamin talk that you've been doing, I thought, because it was right after the list, I thought you were going to say that they said a thing people say referring to this as taking vitamin P. When you drink your own pee.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But anyway.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Maybe that'll catch on in the urine therapy world.
Hey, y'all. Let's make it a thing, everybody. Hashtag vitamin P.
I know all our listeners are very avid practitioners of this, so just spread the word. I actually...
my pee heads.
My pee... Wasn't that a Andy Milonakis thing? Didn't he say like I got a pee on my head, but don't call me a pee head?
Maybe I don't.
That seems like something he would do.
Sure, I believe that.
Yeah. Whatever happened to him?
He actually, I think he streams.
Oh, I think I did see this. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, going back to drinking pee. I actually witnessed I did not witness someone drinking pee. I don't want this sentence to be misleading. I witnessed firsthand that honeybees flocked to a dog's urine one time, and my boss at the time suggested to the owners that the dog get tested for diabetes because the honeybees were like swarming to his urine. So if it was sweet, yeah. So I don't know. That's the thing that I saw. But
but you didn't see the resolution of that, whether or not the dog was
I was actually the one that had to go tell him to get tested for it because I was like, my boss, wasn't like
was saying that to you rather than to them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She told me, she's like, go tell his owners when they pick up to do this. Yeah, or just suggest, don't say like you have to do, but anyways, because the dog was acting real weird. Anyways, yeah. So. Urotherapy is offered today even in some cancer clinics in Mexico. And my first thought was like, that seems weird that Mexico's doing that. But then my second thought immediately after that was like, no, that was like some American scientists that are weird, because like Mexico is a little more lax on their safety regulations. That's what that is. That's not like a Mexican clinic. Who
knows? But either way,
it's praised by many health enthusiasts, like natural health enthusiasts. I came across a book title by Martha M. Christie, who wrote a book about how urine is the bomb for your health. The name of the book. I mean, that's not. She didn't say that. I said that.
Why did you say it?
Because there's only so many times in an episode that I can say, like, these people said urine is good for you. So I'm just trying to change up the vernacular a little bit, you know?
Okay.
Put a little slang
because
in
it
there.
sounded so naturally coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. Because vocabulary is the bomb.
It's true.
Can I tell you, this is a digression. It's worth it. When I was in high school, I don't know, like what, like the SAT prep people, like, you know, there's like McGraw-Hill and all the people that like make textbooks, like Pearson, and it was something like from one of those. I don't think it was like the actual SAT board, whatever, but they came across, they wanted to do this SAT prep experiment, and they got like different schools in our area, maybe even, I don't know if it was state or national, but I think it was local, so I think it was just like schools in our area, to as part of this like experimental study. So what they did was you can sign up if you wanted to. Sign up, you text whatever the number is, like, to sign up for this thing, register, and then every day they text you a vocab word, and it's paired with a little jingle, and it just like repeats the vocab word over and over, and then says the definition. And so, and they like wanted to see if this was like an effective thing, like, you know, pairing it with music, like making it more meaningful, or like activating different parts of your brain to help like store it in your memory, and then see if like compare the result, like test results of students that agreed to this with those who didn't. And I was like, there's a lot of confounding variables, because I feel like students that would like agree to this are students that would like want every edge, and like the ones, because people might sign up for it, but not everybody's gonna like listen to it every day or whatever. Anyways, there's a lot of variables for that, but it was just very silly, because every day you get like a text and you click it, this little sound file, and it would be like a 1 minute, like just weird background music thing, and then it's just like ubiquitous, appearing everywhere, common. It's just like, and it just like does that over and over, like with this little like doo 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 beep doo beep doo 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 beep doo beep, repetitive. Yeah, is very
the
bizarre.
Saying of the words like at all related to the song in the background? Like,
no,
is it on beat or something?
No, the thing was, like, they did like kind of do it in like a sing-songy voice, but they just recorded all the words and definitions like at once, and then just like randomly selected music. So like sometimes it was not like like on beat or like in a melody or anything like that. It was just like paired with music and a little bit in a sing-song voice.
Yeah, it's just kind of jauntily said.
Yeah. So that was a thing that I think about all the time. Every time I hear certain words, and then just in my head, I just like flash back to being in high school and like opening my phone, that text message.
That is super weird.
It was very weird.
It's just like ubiquitous.
Yeah. I wonder if I can find those like files, and yeah. Anyways, so urine's the bomb. So Martha M. Christie wrote this book, and the book is called Your Own Perfect Medicine: The Incredible Proven Natural Miracle Cure That Medical Science Has Never Revealed! Which, if you dissect that title a little bit, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because it's the proven natural cure that medical science has never revealed. So it's proven, but science hasn't revealed it. And proof is science. Like that's what proof means, is like it's testing and
but there I believe where she's going with it, correct me if I'm wrong, is like scientists have vested interest. They want to sell you pills or whatever, and leave with the pharmaceutical industries. So you gotta drink your piss, buddy. Fuck the system. Drink the piss. Pee heads, let's go.
I just see this lady like with a Guy Fawkes mask. Drink your pee. Like a little, because they had a little slit in the mouth, so you can put a little straw in there. It's gotta be
that's a good sun-sized straw, though. I think.
Yeah, that's a good point though. That like pharmaceutical companies. That's the thing.
Yeah,
so there's like, I mean, there's the conspiracy
you can
theory.
You can trust the consensus of scientists who are like, by the basis of science, all they do is try to disprove each other all the time.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's a very good point, and I will say something to that a little bit later. Like, I mean, that's pretty much it. That exists, but then I have like a little basic refutation for that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of big pharma, but you know, who is? So
yeah.
All right. So, but I feel like with the title and stuff, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I get what she might be trying to insinuate, but I don't know how this made it past her editors and publisher, and I think probably it was just like, all right, we don't want to read this. Just it's fine. Go ahead. Just whatever. Put it out there.
We don't want to read the title.
We're not gonna. I'm not gonna pay someone to read this book.
Or the title. Just
or the title.
Like, whatever she sends.
Yeah.
Just read the header of the email and just like click print and hope it doesn't print the email rather than the book.
Right.
On all the pages.
Yeah. I think it was actually probably like, I'll just act it out. Hey, Mike, I got a new book in here for you to run by you before we can publish it. Oh yeah? What's it about? It's about drinking your own piss. Yeah, sure, man. Go ahead, publish that. And the guy was like, all right, he said publish it.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, what? This was real? Like, when it actually gets shipped out, he's like, wait, we printed how many copies of this?
Wait, it's been 3 years and we haven't sold more than 5?
Not even our friends and family bought this book. Yeah. So that's a thing. But
I mean, if your aunt sold a pee book, would you buy it? I wouldn't.
No, I would not.
If my
go to that
mom
family reunion ever again either.
I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah. If you're who?
My mom sold a pee book. I probably wouldn't buy it and read it because I don't want to.
Maybe that would be your bedtime story, though, that she could read to you.
Rather not.
So yeah, it came around. It's been a thing for a while. There's a guy. It's been apparently pretty big in India. But there was a guy. His name was John Armstrong. He was a British naturopath in the early 20th century, and he kind of like brought this like into like, this was already like an alternative medicine kind of thing, but he's one like put it in medical text, and he thought, so there's a Bible verse, Proverb 5:15, that says, drink waters out of thine own cistern and running waters out of thine own well. And then he was like, all right, this is literal. The Bible is telling me to drink water that I produce, so I'm gonna drink my urine. So yeah, he did a 45-day fast just drinking urine and tap water. He drank nothing but urine and tap water. So you drink the tap water first and then the urine.
Yeah, this is the issue with all the different interpretations of the Bible.
Right, yeah.
Is that you drink and piss for 45 days, friend?
All like the internal arguments and like even like Catholicism and Protestantism, and they like kind of like they're bickering amongst themselves and like look over and they're like, no, definitely not that. Can we all agree that not that?
Yeah.
So yeah, he that was the thing for like thousands of patients. He like prescribed to drink their urine, and then in 1944 he published something called The Water of Life, a treatise on urine therapy. And that was like the foundational, like the cornerstone of the urotherapy craze.
Yeah, this guy was the popularizer. You're saying?
Yeah. He's the one that like put it, because like it was like happening in like villages and stuff in rural places, and he was the one who's like, hey, do this, everybody in the Western world.
Yeah.
It sold pretty popularly in India, And I'll kind of get into that a little bit. There are apparently some like uses for urine in like yogic text, which I didn't know was a word, yogic, but it's like, you know, yogi text.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yogic.
literally what it sounds like. Yeah. But people are like, no, it's different than what you're saying it is. It's, I don't know. It's controversial. I mean, it's like all
people
like
are like, no,
it's translational.
I just don't want to drink my peas, so
yeah,
because
it's
I'm
like
gonna
it's
consider this very much.
Right, and it's like has to do with like translating like the Sanskrit and all. It's and then like, okay, just because like one yogi did it doesn't mean that like all the yoga tenets say that this is a thing, or you know. Anyways,
Yeah.
So a few interesting occurrences worth noting in the modern world. In some parts of the Arabian Peninsula, people sell bottled camel urine because it supposedly has prophetic properties. But in 2015, a man in Saudi Arabia was arrested for bottling his own urine and selling it, claiming it was camel urine.
And the prophetic thing, you're saying the idea is people would drink it and they would have prophecies come to them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's already a scam, so I don't know why you're arresting that man.
Yeah, yeah. And there's like tons of like shamanistic things, you know, like smoking herbs and hallucinogens, and those are like actually put you in an altered state. This is just urine, so yeah. I don't know. Maybe camels are mystical. Maybe camels are mystical.
It's not like, what is it? I did a story on it.
The dung.
The poop in a jar.
The poop drug? Yeah.
It's not like that. That actually gives you hallucinations, like hardcore hallucinations.
Yeah.
And it's not like that. This is just, you drink it, it tastes bad, you feel bad, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I think like he's like, I drank some this morning, and I'm going to prophesy that you're going to feel shame after this. And he was right.
Yeah.
Morarji Desai, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he was the former Prime Minister of India, and he was a practitioner of urine therapy, and even talked to your old pal Dan Rather about it on 60 Minutes.
Sweet.
Yeah, he said.
I mean, sweet if he's diabetic.
Right, exactly, yeah. He said that urine therapy was the perfect medical solution for the millions of Indians who cannot afford medical treatment. But here's the thing. He practices this, and I'm guessing as the Prime Minister of India, he probably could afford medical treatment. So I think he just liked it. And he, like,
that's just a funny thing to say. He drinks pee and he just fucking likes it. He doesn't even think it does anything.
Yeah, he just like,
likes it.
He's drinking it. He's like, yeah, this is like perfect for poor people. He's like, but are you poor? Be like, no, I'm the Prime Minister of India. He's like, well, then why are you drinking it? He's like, I think he just he just liked it and wanted people to do it. There was a British actress named Sarah Miles. I looked up like some of the movies. She was like an older like black and white film kind of thing, and like in through like the 60s and 70s. But I didn't recognize any books or any movies that she was in, and I wish I did, because I wish there was an actor or someone that I knew that drank their own urine. But
you wish Clooney was chugging
like how
vitamin P.
I feel like probably Johnny Depp would be someone that would do that.
Yeah.
I don't know who else.
Gary Busey,
yeah. Maybe Gary Oldman.
All the Garys.
Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, she Sarah Miles, she drank her own urine for more than 30 years because she said it had lots of benefits, but mostly it helped immunize her against allergies. So that's a thing that she thinks. That's not how allergies work. But yeah. So there's also a Major League Baseball player, I'm going to probably butcher his name, named Moises Alou, who peed on his hands to alleviate calluses, which allows him to bat without batting gloves. Now,
I think I heard that. I have heard of that thing. Also, side note, his name is Moises what?
Alou.
So his name, I'm just thinking of the people that hate the word moist.
Right.
Do they hate moises? It's so close.
Yeah.
It's so close. But do they hate that?
I don't know, but they do when you're like, "Hey, Moises," you're like, I don't know how I feel about that name. Be like, "Oh, he drinks his own urine or pees on his hands." They're like, "All right, definitely don't like that guy."
Yeah.
But he, I want to like talk about this here. So peeing on hands or like for the calluses. I mean, it doesn't give you calluses unless you have some really. You need to see a doctor if your pee is that abrasive,
or your skin is that,
or your skin is that. Yeah. So I do circus arts. And, I also I'm a big fan of being barefoot. So I primarily do trapeze and silks, but I do static trapeze. And so my hands are very calloused. And I'm in, like the circus community. And it's not unheard of for people who either do it or know someone that pees on their hands or soaks their hands in urine for their calluses. Just quick little, if you're thinking about this, black tea works perfectly. You can soak your hands in black tea or your feet for calluses. But like the point of this, it works. You don't have to do tea. You don't have to do pee. You do tea.
Look, you don't have to do tea. You can just soak your hands in pee. You can do it. Anybody can do it. Come on, pee heads.
Let's all do it. Let's have big pee parties.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the Boston Pee Party.
Yeah. Our founding fathers loved water sports.
It wouldn't surprise me.
That's freaks.
Did I?
I don't even think they're. Really? If you like water sports, I don't even think you're a freak. It's fine. I just wanted to call the founding fathers.
Oh,
freaks.
The founding fathers definitely freaks. Yeah. I'm gonna. I don't know if we want to get into my views on water sports. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't hate it. I don't have a particular desire to do that.
It's pretty much a shrug to me.
But it's just like, people do what they want to do. I don't care. They're consenting adults, whatever. But like, I try to think about like, all right, I saw this like in a TV show or something one time where like a lady was like locked in a freezer, and when she came out, the guy like offered to pee on her or something, and he was like, "It'll warm you up." Like he like couldn't believe that she was like, "What?" But then
it was like a TV show, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a reality TV show.
No, it was like a crime thing. Like she had been kidnapped and it was like kept in like a freezer truck or something. I don't know. But then maybe it's like a dominant thing if you're like, it's like a BDSM thing or like humiliation type thing, and people are like, Pete, I don't know. I don't know.
Sure.
And it's one thing.
I mean, I don't doubt that for the fetish or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But for this guy on that show, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. But so, I hear about this a lot. I hear about people doing it. I read about it for calluses. in two circles
and
of my
watch
life.
A lot of videos about it. And,
some very descriptive, in-depth tutorials. No, but like the benefit here, the premise of this, or the reason behind it, is that it works like tanning leather. All right? So it makes your callous skin very durable and tough, but not brittle and susceptible to cracking. So your skin is still like pliable and healthy. So like in some cases, I get trying this. Like, I mean, use tea. I get like the people want to do this. And like, if anything, like doing this for skin, that's one thing because like, but doing it, like drinking it, expecting like all these different health results, like basically like a snake oil salesman or whatever.
The human oil.
Yeah. Don't like that, but that's accurate. Selling my oils on the street. But so I don't think it's that crazy. But for this guy does it. Moises Alou, or did it. I think he's retired now. He did it so he can bat without wearing batting gloves. Why does that matter? That's such an unimpressive skill. Who is impressed by this skill? Like, especially for the cost. Because you can't brag about it. Like, how does that play out? Like, he's in a bar, and he's like...
Well, he brags about it, but he doesn't mention how he does it.
Well, I guess. I just, like, imagine he's like, hey, baby, I don't even wear gloves when I bat. And she's like, ooh, you must be so tough, big boy. And he's like, yeah, because I pee on my hands. Now, come over here and let me brush that hair out of your face. And she's like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Like any feat of I don't know. It's like immediately goes out the window with like the cost. Doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah.
But drinking does seem to be a more common practice with athletes. I guess maybe like they're already taking supplements and stuff for muscle growth and like health and whatnot. So they're already like open to the idea of like pills and making smoothies and like powders and all this stuff. So someone's just like, all right, urine too. And he's like, all right, cool. Put it in there. So
yeah, put it in the smoothie.
Like that's a thing, you know, like that's for manipulating people. You like ask for like very achievable small things and get them agreeing with you. And then they're kind of like on a roll. And then you just get like they'll agree with you for bigger things that ordinarily if you'd asked outright, they wouldn't have done it. So I feel like maybe that's like the same thing.
Yeah.
There was an MMA fighter that did it because his dad suggested that he do it because he like had a cough for like 3 years and he couldn't shake it. And so his dad was like, oh, drink pee. And then there was a boxer that drank it during a film training session for HBO. It was like a promotional thing for like the Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao fight. And this other guy, it wasn't one of those two, but it was just like somebody in the gym who was like training and like as part of that series. And he just like was on film drinking it, and he's like, oh yeah, it aids my intense workouts.
God.
So if I did this, I would not tell anybody. I would definitely not put it like broadcast it on HBO.
Imagine working out and being fucking exaused and then drinking pee.
Yeah.
It's
and
like
you're already
the
like
worst
sweated out and like
in the
dehydrated.
world.
Yeah. Learned a lot about pee reading this. Like you know, asparagus makes your pee stink. So does like salmon and beets. You can dye make your pee change color, stuff like that. Coffee.
I did not know about
curry.
salmon.
Yeah, and it can give it like an odor and change the color a little bit. Yeah. So, anyways, a lot of stuff, more than I wanted to know.
Yeah.
There are tons of YouTube videos about this, and like I said, I actually found a playlist that I wanted you to watch for your consumption thing. But I think it either been removed or like a surge of new videos about this because now there are hundreds of videos. So it's just kind of like overshadowed it on YouTube's algorithm. But
yeah.
A final note before wrapping this up. Urine is like 95% water and then some salts and ammonia and waste from your body's natural processes, as I said. And there's like, I mean, you can Google like the exact properties. It's, you know, some sodium, potassium, creatinine, whatever, urea, which urea is, I think that's the that's what the what helps to give the color, but it's like the byproduct of your blood cells. Which that was kind of cool to think about because like I think about like my body's waste, like things that I'm eating and absorbing, and then like waste disposal. But you know that all that stuff goes into cells individually, and then it's like the waste product of the cells that's filtered out, which that's cool. You know, think that cells are doing stuff.
Yeah.
But at best, drinking urine is neutral for you. Not always downright dangerous, but definitely not great. It's what your body is already getting rid of. So why people think it has any nutritional value is beyond me. I know like Bear Grylls, isn't that his name? The Survivor guy?
Yes.
He did it on like an episode and like became a meme, or apparently he does it pretty frequently when he's like, there's no other source of hydration. So he's like still retaining as much water as possible. And I get that, like in a survival scenario. And I think the meme for him is like that he's like, all right, I've been out here for like an hour trying to drink my own urine. And you know, like almost like he was looking for a reason for it. But you know, that's fun. But kids, don't drink your urine. It does nothing for you. Don't
listen to him, pea heads. You're rocking this world.
I'm not bashing this practice.
This November, pee the vote. Let's go.
A vote for pee is a vote for me. That's the slogan. Maybe, you know, not to get too political, I think you could probably write in pee on your ballot, and I don't think things get much worse than like any outcome for voting, like no matter what your party is or what. Like
a vote for pee is a vote for us all.
Yeah,
we
it's
all
like at least
pee.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's what binds the fabric together. of humanity.
Yeah, P is the one
right.
true
yeah.
unity that this world may one day reach.
Unipee.
All right, let's take a break now.
Okay, so I'm not bashing the practice, especially like it was like I get like in very poor countries back, people like, well, I have nothing to treat anything with, so like this is all I got, so I'm gonna try it, and like that's sad, and like that speaks to like some human rights things that like we should try to make sure that people aren't dying.
Yeah,
but
as a health trend,
yuppies,
a little weird.
Yeah, and I'm not an expert on science, just using common sense. Like drinking urine has been prevalent in so many cultures throughout history, back when the life expectancy was like 35. So if it didn't help at a time when literally any form of medication would help, anything at all, then I don't know how it's going to help today with all the medicine we have. Like,
yeah,
something so quote unquote proven, to quote Christie, would not have faded into obscurity if it was
something that's quote unquote da bomb.
Right, to quote me. Now, there is, as you mentioned, the conspiracy theory that big pharmaceutical is trying to keep it on the hush hush in order to make medicine and profit, and that's a reasonable suspicion. But, if they don't want you to drink your urine, it's for no other reason that nobody wants you to drink your own urine.
Yeah.
So, just take some aspirin for a headache. Brush your teeth. You can even use baking soda to brush your teeth. Get some Arm & Hammer baking soda and brush your teeth. That's better than urine. Just don't drink your pee.
I mean, they should put that in the ads.
At least it's not your urine, right? Better than your urine. That could be a slogan for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to this
Word
podcast. It's better than drinking your urine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got. Be safe, kids.
Cool.
And adults. And if you like water sports, that's fine too. But make sure everybody's consenting. That's all.
Well, sure. I mean, always do that.
Hey,
when it comes.
It seems like it should be an obvious thing, but it's not. So it doesn't hurt to reiterate.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are awful.
They sure are.
Well, I'm gonna drink some tea, and we'll hear old Broomy's story.
Yep. So, that was gross.
Mm-hmm.
But I too have a tale, or a thing that's not quite a tale.
Just like a protrusion.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Damn it. When people grow tails and things, they call it a specific thing that's not a tail. I forget it. Can't think of it. But, so, this story starts with the Odyssey. You familiar with that?
I'm very sorry to interrupt you. I just tried to Google. I just tried to Google the term for growing a tail. And the very first thing that came up, you know how like Google gives you like a little box when it's like, this is the answer. It was like in its own little box, like it's not from a website. Or I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
yes.
this. Yeah.
Yes. It gives you whatever definition
like
or answer immediately.
Like most people, yeah. So it says, verb, to need to defecate badly. Quote, hurry up, I'm growing a tail.
Oh, God. That is awful.
So that's not what I was looking for. But there's that too. Obscene or scatological language.
Yeah.
Anyways, cool. Cool.
So, from drinking piss and shit coming out of your butt to form a tail, quote unquote. Have you heard of the Odyssey?
I have.
The classic literature?
The epic
what do you know
poem
about the
from Homer?
Yeah.
He wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey?
Not the fat bald yellow guy, but the ancient Greek writer.
Homerian. Yeah, I've read a little bit of the Odyssey and less of the Iliad. I think I've read maybe the whole Odyssey.
Yeah.
But I really, it's so cool to think, like, when you look at, if you Google, like, movies that are like an iteration of the Odyssey, and it's just basically like all the, you go here and help this person, and go here and fight this thing, and go here, like all those like little plot points. But it's so, it's like cool how like there are so many modern iterations that you like. I mean, even after like even knowing what the Odyssey is, you still miss, because I mean I'm not an expert on it or anything.
Sure. But. Yeah. The Odyssey is, as far as I could tell, this story isn't about the Odyssey, but it factors in. Mm-hmm. It's a very long, epic poem, right? Or it's not really a poem, but that's
what it's called.
Yeah. And it was written around 700 BC.
Nice.
And until the 15th century, all volumes of the Odyssey were in handwritten Greek.
Whew, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to think about. That's what books were.
Yeah.
Were all handwritten.
Yeah, I think of like monks sitting in a room, like transcribing, like the Bible. Like they just like made copies and passages and stuff.
Yeah. And it's unsure when exactly, but at some point, people reading the Odyssey notice that Homer describes the ocean as wine dark, the wine dark sea. And I don't know about you, but to me, ocean ain't purple.
Maybe it's red.
And it's not quite that dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I think of like clear blue ocean.
Yeah. Or like greenish.
Tropical. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
And in 1858, so sometime later, William Gladstone, who later became Britain's Prime Minister.
Hey-o. Prime Minister talk in this episode, huh?
Yeah. Some pee drinking and some reading of the Iliad from different prime ministers. Noticed other strange descriptions when it came to color in the Odyssey. Mm-hmm. Homer referred to iron and sheep as violet.
There's purple sheep. There's a Pokemon that's a purple sheep.
Oh, based on that? You think?
No, I think Homer based it off of Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And honey as green.
That's gross. It's like, I'm just thinking like algae.
Yeah. And plenty of other weird descriptors color-wise when it comes to things in the Odyssey. And Gladstone counts the amounts of references to color in the book. Black is mentioned 200 times. Mm-hmm. White, around 100 times. Mm-hmm. Red is mentioned less than 15 times. Mm-hmm. Yellow and green, less than 10. Other colors, less. So
in his description, he like just didn't really use a lot of color. I mean, he used a lot of black and white. He called things black and white to describe things. And like it goes from white 100 times, red less than 15. Yeah, that's like a pretty steep drop off. And you said black was 150 or 200?
200.
200. Okay.
But Gladstone started looking at other ancient Greek writing, and he saw the same thing. Noticed one thing about this whole situation that really stuck out. Nothing was described as blue.
Ooh.
Why? Because the word blue didn't exist.
What?
And Gladstone thought this might have been a weird Greek thing.
Yeah.
But then, Lazarus Giger...
Good old Lazzy.
not related to the Giger that made the alien from Aliens, followed in his footsteps, in Gladstone's footsteps. He studied Icelandic sagas, ancient Chinese stories, the Quran, the ancient Hebrew version of the Bible, Hindu hymns, and he's quoted as saying, "These hymns of more than 10,000 lines are brimming with descriptions of the heavens. Scarcely any subject is evoked more frequently. The sun and reddening dawn's play of color, day and night, cloud and lightning, the air and ether, all these unfolded before us again and again. But there is one thing no one would ever learn from these ancient songs, and that is that the sky is blue." Why?
That's
because
insane.
blue didn't exist.
I don't like this. I don't like this. My brain hurts.
It wasn't distinguished from green or other darker shades. Giger looked to see when blue started appearing in languages. And there was a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing in every language was black and white. Those are the first colors that pop into a language.
Mm-hmm.
Or they would refer to as dark and light.
Right, yeah. That's pretty crucial, I guess, like for hunting and gathering and stuff, and just like operating life. Just like, when there's light.
The next is red.
Mm-hmm.
Color like blood, I guess. And
or even maybe like flames. Whenever fire,
sure,
that could be.
Then yellow, then green.
It seems weird that yellow wasn't. I mean, I don't know. Because I think about I don't know.
A couple languages, green came before yellow.
Yeah,
but
that's
green.
weird too, because like nature, like so much nature is green. Like, I mean, there's like,
True.
But I guess like if things were like, like in the earliest parts of language, maybe it was like, our origins in Africa, and like it was like, I mean, there's tropics and greenery and stuff, but there's also like, you think of like plains and desert. So I guess like green is not, I don't know, or you just say like trees, you don't, or
they have a word for tree,
or
and
like everything is like greenery or foliage, but like it's just one word to describe like grass and trees and everything like that.
Yeah. The last color to appear in every single language was blue.
Why?
And
it's literally the
less color, rather.
Right, yeah. But I'm like, but blue is so, it's like the sky, like it's over you all the time.
Yeah. Pretty strange. Blue doesn't appear, or wait, the only ancient culture that had the word blue was the Egyptians. And they were also the only color that was able to produce a blue dye for things.
Oh, okay.
I'm unsure. I didn't look into why. Maybe they were for painting or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, blue doesn't actually appear a ton in nature.
Yeah.
Animals aren't generally blue.
Yeah, I watched a little documentary on this about how there's like there's a blue butterfly and then like peacocks and like some birds, but like that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And even blue eyes aren't that common.
Right. Yeah. Gonna be extinct soon.
Take that, Hitler.
Yeah. Any jab at Hitler's, that's it. Just take that chance every time you get a chance.
Yeah. And most blue flowers were made by humans.
Yeah. Crossbreeding stuff.
Yeah. The sky? Ain't the sky blue?
Yeah,
that's pretty blue.
That's pretty and like still like the ocean. I mean, not every ocean is blue, but or not every But yeah, the sky is around you all the time.
So, on an episode of Radiolab, Guy Deutscher, who is an author, talked about his casual experiment he did, based on this other stuff that I've been talking about.
Walking in the footsteps of the new guy.
Gladstone and Giger.
Giger, yeah. It's weird that this was like a hobby. And I think about Gladstone, he's like supposed to have like political responsibilities, and he's like, let me just count colors in these texts. I'll read some books.
Yeah.
Also, those books are like the hallmark of like education. That's weird too. You're like, oh, you haven't read the Odyssey? You uncultured swine.
Yeah. So Guy Deutscher, he's an author. Mm-hmm. He had this casual experiment he did where he raised his daughter from birth, never described the color of the sky to her.
Love it. Love this.
Then one day, she's around 6, I believe. He asks her, what color do you see when you look up there? What is that? He made sure that it was like clearly a blue sky.
Right.
Because of course sky can be several different colors.
Yes.
But she looked up and she kind of like, she was kind of speechless. She didn't know. And then she thought it was like colorless.
Huh.
But then she landed on white.
What?
And later landed on blue.
Okay.
But blue wasn't the first thing she saw or leaned towards.
Yeah.
That's where she ended up. And she wasn't like being convinced of this.
Right.
It's just she thought about it more and more and more.
Had he used the color blue
in life in general? Yes.
Okay, but it's not for the sky.
No.
That's so weird. I don't like this.
It's hard to say exactly why. We don't know if ancient cultures' biology was different.
Yeah.
In the way they saw colors.
Yeah.
But it brings to mind a bigger question. Do you see something if you don't have a word for it?
Oh, I don't like this. Goodbye, everybody. No, this torments me because like this is I really like language, and like I try to read a lot, and like I write down words that I don't know whenever I encounter them, and like put the definition. Like I have a note on my phone with just like, it's called like words learned, and just like every time I read, if I see a word I don't know, I put it in there, or hear what word I don't know, I put it in there, and like look up the definition and review them, because thoughts and cognition is limited by language.
Yeah.
That's why like feral children things are crazy to think about, because it's like, how do you think if you don't have a language to think it in? And then also language acquisition, like you miss, if you don't learn a language by like usually like 7 to 10, then you can like almost never learn a language.
It is much more difficult.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's so crazy. Why are brains this way?
I don't know, bro. But Jules Davidoff, a researcher, went to Namibia, and he did an experiment with the Himba tribe.
Oh, cool.
We all know the Himba tribe.
Himbas, yeah. Shout out Himbas. All our Himba listeners.
My Himba heads.
Our Himba heads.
Their language has no word for blue.
Good for them.
Or distinction between blue and green. So.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jules would show them they would show them 11 green squares on one, like, piece of paper or canvas or whatever. Mm-hmm. They are shaped in a circle. It's a circle of squares. Small green squares. And one blue square. And they couldn't pick out which one was different from the others.
Huh.
Some did, but those that did took a while, or they got it wrong multiple times before getting it right.
How did we ever learn that blue was a color if we can't see it? Without being, like, I mean, without some discernment. Like, it takes a little bit. Without, like, how did we ever learn anything was a thing?
But yeah, I don't have it ready for you right now, but when we post the episode, we'll post it or we'll put it in the Discord or whatever. But I've seen the image of the squares.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see it. There's a blue square. So they also showed the Himba tribe a circle of green squares where there was one that was a very slightly different shade of green.
Mm-hmm.
Very slightly. And they instantly saw the difference.
I wonder if, like, white would be a thing, as like, to try that as well. If, like, if the daughter, the kid saw white for the sky, or guessed white.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would be, if you did white and blue.
How
do you see
Well, the
clouds?
background of the picture is white.
Yeah,
so I
mean, it had to be a different, yeah.
But the Himba tribe have more words for types of green than we do.
Huh. It's weird that, like, a lot of greens are, like, there's, like, blue-green is, like, a color. And, like, you think of, like, turquoise and aquamarine and all these, like, blurred green-blue colors.
Yeah.
And then to not have a word for blue. I guess maybe I could see how people would think it's just a variation of green, because it does seem like part of that spectrum.
Yeah.
But to not be able to perceive it is, like, you could still might say it's a color green, but you would say, like, a different color than the other colors.
Yeah. It's harder. It's much harder to be like,
yeah. And, like, to even, I think about, like, clouds in the sky. If this girl's first inclination was that, like, the sky is white, then how do you, like, clouds are also white, so how do you...
Well, yeah, but it was a 6-year-old.
Right, and maybe it's just like, yeah. I'm just still, right. She's just trying. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, that's still...
So, Davidov later said that without a word for a color or way of identifying it as different, it's way harder for us to notice anything different about it.
But that's so bizarre, though, because, like, if you look around, like, people, like, there's...
Yeah, like, our eyes, on a technical physical level...
Right.
...are seeing the same color of blocks in the same way that the Himba tribe sees them. On a technical, physical level.
Right.
We know that that is true.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, just a...
I wonder if that's, like, a thing, too, with, like how, you know, like, the critical period for language acquisition, if there's, like, a thing for colors or, like, anything, like, I mean, not as, like, hard of a cutoff, but, or, like, you know, that's, and I'm thinking now, like, I'm looking at the software for the recording. There's, like, the whole thing is pretty much blue. Like, all the letters are blue, the sound waves are blue. Then I'm looking at my icons on my desktop, and then I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 row. It's 9 across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 9 by 10, probably 70% of them are blue or have blue on them.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally get that, like, where it's not very prevalent, it's hardly prevalent at all in nature. And so, I mean, that's different. But, like, maybe, but I cannot imagine.
Yeah. So, I'm about to be finished. In Russia, there's 2 words for blue.
Mm-hmm.
One that means light blue, and one that means dark blue. And they can distinguish between light and dark blues before we can.
Oh.
So, blue might have been a thing people saw, but they didn't know they were seeing it.
Yeah. What does that mean for us now, though?
That means there might be colors or even other things that we can't because somebody hasn't, I guess, looked at something for long enough that they noticed it, and then they're like, oh, now I notice it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like you, in a future episode, you mentioned that you notice the manipulation of advertising more now that I brought it up to you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. Once you become aware of it, you see it everywhere. Ugh.
So yeah, if you don't know you're seeing it, does it exist?
That makes me very angry to think about. I'm very mad at my brain.
You took this harder than I thought you would.
Because I even saw an article the other day. I think I clicked it so I could like open it as a tab, but I haven't read it yet. But it talks about like extra dimensional beings and like what if there are things all around us that we just can't see because they're like on a different plane of like our perception. And then like there's that shrimp or whatever in the ocean that can see like the ultraviolet spectrum and everything like that, and like hundreds more whatever shades of stuff that we can't see, and like
it's a thing. That whole idea of like basically it's weird that people don't think about it more, that we have 5 senses. If we had another sense that we have many more senses that are detecting things in our body and stuff, but
like what if electricity looks like something, or like the wireless waves and radio waves and everything, like they look like stuff and we just don't but that's what's different about your story though, is that like it's one thing for your eyes to mechanically not be able to see or detect something, but for your brain just not to be able to perceive it as different, that's not the same.
It's wild. So what are we... It's coming to the end of the episode. What are we calling your story?
I can't think of anything right now. I would say urophagia. That way it's not like I don't know, maybe urine therapy. We'll do urine therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with blue is new.
It makes me mad at my brain.
So urine therapy versus blue is new. Go ahead and vote on our Twitter.
I like how you're just ready to like wrap up, and I can't get past this.
Well, I don't know what to say. Bring the topic. I'll talk to you about it.
I did see in the documentary, and I'll post this in the Discord too after the episode goes live. It's just like a 15-minute like YouTube documentary thing, or a section that's put on YouTube that like about how blue is like because all colors are just the way that like objects bend light. Like things aren't inherently a color. It's just the way that they bend the light that makes the color seem a thing. So
I forgot to mention. Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
I got this story. I heard this story from the Crackpot podcast. They're a podcast about conspiracy theories. This isn't so much a conspiracy theory as a theory that's pretty well substantiated, like a scientific theory.
Right.
But they're a great podcast. Check them out if you want to hear more serious conspiracies, like Jeffrey Epstein stuff, or like Avril Lavigne is actually
the body
dead.
double. Yeah. All right, cool.
It's great. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that because I want to give them credit. They're great.
Good.
Anyway,
good on you. In the documentary, it talks about how like blue, like it reflects light differently. Like the texture and like atomic structure or whatever, like how things are put together. I guess maybe not quite on an atomic scale. I mean, by definition on an atomic scale, but like when it becomes like perceptible for your eye, blue exists like differently. And like the butterfly wings that are blue, like it's the wing composition is different, and they're like the blue is like reflected. They're like scales as opposed to like wear fur or anything like that. Like it's just very bizarre to think about how like blue does seem to be like a little bit of a different color because it's the composition of things that can be blue are different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
what am I missing? What else is in the world?
I don't know, just start focusing on very specific things for a long time.
How dumb are brains to not be able to recognize things look different than something else?
You can expand that idea also beyond sight. We could be hearing something all the time and not noticing it.
I do think it's odd how people's we tune out so much noise. Like if you just sat still in your room or wherever you are, I mean, to take your headphones off, but there's the computer humming, traffic or whatever outside. There's so much going on. Even when you move, my chair squeaks a little bit and stuff, and just the pleather rubbing against my shirt. Everything, there's so much sound, but we just tune it out.
Yeah.
It's crazy how senses and the brain interact.
Yeah. Brain's doing a lot of work, so it's hard.
Yeah. But I think there's a medical condition where your brain can't differentiate between perceived sound. And so you hear everything at the same level, or you can your brain pays equal attention to it all, so you can't tune stuff out like this. It's very hard.
Saying there's
it's
also, that's a thing with autism, right?
Yeah,
where, it's hard to tune things out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much more sensory overload is a thing. Yeah.
But yeah, just drink your pee, and I'm sure that condition you were talking about will go away.
That's exactly. Yeah.
So that's our episode. Sorry, Mystic, to bestow upon you the fact that
cursed knowledge.
Blue didn't exist pretty recently.
Cursed knowledge.
I have cursed you all, and to all good night. We will see you on the next one.